welcome along to Transfer Talk.
Manchester United have not been in touch with me. So, you know, from that point of view, speculation. We will always, as I said earlier, you know, try and make sure that we sell our best players at the right time, not just for the player, but also for us. And if we end up doing that with any player, it was with the view to leaving Fabian with a very competitive squad, whatever happens. But, you know, we don't want to sell our best players. Carlos is a fantastic talent. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. And, you know, we hope he will be here for many years to come. But, you know, it's something that, as always, is subject to the dynamics of the football world.
Benjamin Sesko, so Man United fully focused this weekend on Sesko, but Man United still maintain contacts with the agents of Carlos Baleba. So contacts are still ongoing. At the moment, they still believe that the deal is really complicated, is really difficult. So at the moment, there is no concrete progress. But I'm told, just to add some details to the story, that Man United maintain contacts with the agents of the player. So let's see what's going to happen there. Brighton have no intention to sell, so they would require a really big fee for Baleba. But Manchester United at the moment made their steps. Started this week by making an approach with people close to the player, try to understand the situation, maintain the contacts active with the agents of the player, so don't leave the conversation immediately. So Man United made their move. Quite calm, saying what's going to happen. Obviously, if there will be a door open for Man United, Baleba is considered the perfect midfielder. A player loved by the coach Ruben Amorim, but at the moment, the wall from Brighton is really high, so it's not an easy deal at all. It's not a quick deal at all, so forget about that. Man United remain in contact, but at the moment, again, Brighton maintain their position. They don't want to sell the player this summer. Maybe next summer, 2026, after the World Cup, could be a completely different topic. But at the moment, that's the case for Carlos Baleba.
Top half. They've got to obviously they've got to improve on what happened last year, but I think that they'll be in the top half. And you've got to give the other teams credit, right? The teams that have qualified for the European competitions. Yes, they've got to adapt to the more games being in there, but Man United have really got to step up their game to get into them places. So for me, I'm just going to say top half.
So obviously it's progress because they finished a lot lower than that last season. Is that enough progress for a club like Manchester United?
That's not enough. And like I said, look at the signings they've got and their new forward line, etc. Sesko down the middle and Buemo and Matheus Cunha. But like I said, for me, there's way more pressure at Manchester United. And Buemo was brilliant at Brentford. There's no getting away from that. Matheus Cunha was brilliant at Wolves. There's no getting away from that. But Manchester United, there's so much more pressure. They are worldwide known everywhere. And if you don't perform one or two times, that's it, fans on your back. They need instant performances, especially after what happened last year, and especially this is why they've been brought into the...
Baleba transfer. Man United expected to submit bid in the next few days. Manchester United's transfer business is far from done this summer despite 3 high-profile arrivals. United have spent over £200 million in their bid to transfer their attack, signing Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo to play as wide playmakers, and Benjamin Sesko to lead the line. However, the club's hierarchy recognise that United's problems lie deeper than that. The Red Devils' midfield lacks both technical prowess and physicality to sustain attacks and snuff out counters. Manchester United to bid for Baleba accordingly. United have identified Carlos Baleba as an ideal option to strengthen their midfield. The Cameroonian is an all-action midfielder, capable of evading the press and covering ground for fun. Signed from Lille in 2023, he has established himself as Brighton's most potent midfielder. After initial inquiries from United, Baleba has reportedly given the green light to a move to Old Trafford. Now, according to Marca, United are expected to submit a bid for the 21-year-old in the coming days. However, it is thought negotiations with Brighton are going to be tricky, as they do not intend to sell their sensational midfielder on the cheap. Brighton sold Moises Caicedo to Chelsea for £115 million not long ago, and they would be looking for a similar figure for the Cameroonian jewel. Manchester United working on raising funds. United's approach suggests Ineros believe they have the budget to finance a deal for Baleba. The Spanish publication underlined that United have already pocketed around £15 million from the transfers of Álvaro Carreras, Anthony Elanga, and Maxi Oidil. Barcelona are covering Marcus Rashford's salary in full, helping United save. around £14 million this season. Further, Chelsea paid a £5 million penalty fee when they decided to send Sancho back to Old Trafford. The Englishman is now being chased by Juventus and AS Roma. The 20-time champions are also in talks with Chelsea over a deal for Alejandro Garnacho, who is valued at £50m. Earlier today, the People's Person relayed a report claiming United are confident of agreeing a deal with AC Milan for Rasmus Højlund. Manchester United and Brighton are preparing to hold new discussions in the coming hours, with the Red Devils expected to submit a formal bid for midfielder Carlos Baleba, according to Rudy Galletti. The player is keen on making the move to Old Trafford, while Brighton, closely monitoring the negotiations, have already begun cautiously exploring potential replacements in case the deal goes through. Last season, Carlos Baleba played 40 games, scoring 4 goals and providing 2 assists. See detailed stats on Tribuna.com. According to Tribuna.com, Baleba's value is €40 million while his annual salary is €750,200. Find out more info in our Salaries tab. Man United and Brighton to hold fresh discussions over Carlos Baleba transfer in coming hours. Reports Man United Carlos Baleba transfer alternative would be dream signing for Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester United know they're a midfielder away from having a hugely competitive starting 11 after addressing some key flaws in their squad. The arrivals of Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Sesko have given Ruben Amorim a completely new look starting front three. They'll need time to bed into their new surroundings at Old Trafford, but the general consensus is they're ready-made signings who can have an instant impact. United will want to avoid a repeat of last season's dismal campaign, and the signing of a defensive midfielder could play a major part in that. Given there'll be no European football for United this season, they can focus on the Premier League and winning some domestic silverware. Recent transfer speculation linking the club with Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba are exciting links. The club is crying out for a holding midfielder who can protect the back three and stop the 11 being so vulnerable in transition. However, given Brighton have slapped a reported £100 million asking price on the Cameroonian's head, the club know they need to offload a number of fringe players before investing that kind of money. Baleba transfer. Man United expected to submit bid in the next few days. Manchester United's transfer business is far from done this summer despite 3 high-profile arrivals. United have spent over £200 million in their bid to transfer their attack, signing Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo to play as wide playmakers, and Benjamin Sesko to lead the line. However, the club's hierarchy recognise that United's problems lie deeper than that. The Red Devils' midfield lacks both technical prowess and physicality to sustain attacks and snuff out counters. Manchester United to bid for Baleba. Accordingly, United have identified Carlos Baleba as an ideal